Hello and welcome to Hymnpartial Off the Record. This is our very first episode of a more laid back, not so specific towards church music episode. I am Monet Funka and this is
Cara.
And today we're just gonna catch up. We do plan to do a few of these throughout the year. We thought it'd be nice to kind of start this new season, even though technically it's its own thing, with just kind of an update, kind of have a little bit of fun, just the two of us. Cara's under the weather, so she sounds like a wonderful jazz lounge singer today, and
It's the kind of voice where I'm like, I'll be practicing my Johnny Cash singing in the shower.
Yes. So yeah, lots to talk about today. I think first of all, if you guys listen to this whole episode, let us know what you think of it. Is it something you want more or less of? Are there certain things you want us to talk about that aren't necessarily strictly about church music? We'd really love your input on that.
We have some ideas of some things that are kind of off topic, but are still kind of helpful and relevant, just not to hymns. So we were thinking about maybe doing a couple of off the records through the year about different topics.
Yeah. And I think they'll be really useful because they're things that have come up off the record with some of you. And, you know, we have you guys as an audience, and we mainly want to use this as a resource to help the church think about how we worship and what we sing and how we sing and stuff like that. But off the record kind of allows us some room to just branch out of our niche.
I have no idea. Write it below in the comments, your pronunciation of it.
Is it niche? So we have a new kind of way that we want to partner with you guys. You might have seen it. We've posted it on all of our social media, but it is a Ko-fi page, a Ko-fi membership. Am I saying that right? Ko-fi?
Yes.
Ko-fi. And if you haven't seen it already, we'll link the advert in the description. But we had a lot of fun.
Thank you to everyone who messaged me after I shared it on my stories and was like, that's hilarious, because it was one of those ideas we came up with and we were like, that's so funny. Yes. And then we went away and had a nap and we were like,
is this gonna work?
How funny is it though?
You know, we were pretty delirious that day too, because we had been filming all day. We had filmed multiple episodes
and
reels and a bunch of stuff. And we got to the end of our kind of mental capacity. And we're like, you know, it would be a great idea. Let's film a Ko-fi advert, just to, you know, let people know that listen to us, that we are going to be on Ko-fi and just have a little bit of fun with it. And it ended up, I don't know. You tell me, maybe you guys think it's rubbish.
The point being, we now have a Ko-fi page, and you can't see it. I wrote it here, but you can't see it. It's kofi.com/hymnpartial.
Yes, go there. Consider partnering with us. We do this. I mean, it started 2 and a bit years ago, kind of as like a hobby, as something that we just thought would be fun to do and would be useful for the church.
We still think that.
But we were like, you know, we do have maintenance costs for it. You know, we've bought all our own equipment. We have a website. We have a podcast site.
I actually sat down and calculated how much time goes into one episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was talking to somebody and they were like, oh, I'm going to do podcasting. It's so easy. You just sit down at a mic and talk. And I was like, oh, good grief.
No.
So I sat down and worked it out. And you're looking at for a half-hour episode, we put about 10 hours of work in, which is no small commitment to be doing every week.
Yeah. So, and again, we love doing it. It is fun for us, but it would be nice if you are so inclined for you guys to partner with us a little bit on that and help us pay the bills, as we say. And yeah, we have 3 tiers at the moment. We have Crosby tier, Wesley tier, and Watts. And at the moment, they're just tiers of different commitments to pay to us, but we do plan to put more goodies into those tiers and actually move some of our exclusive content over to Ko-fi members only, or at least as a first instance before it's available to the public.
The other thing to know about Ko-fi is you don't have to make a monthly commitment.
No.
You can just
one time
a one-time thing as well. I've done that for other creators as well, like supported them over a period of time, or just given a one-off.
Yeah. And every pound and pence or dollar and cents does help. So we really do appreciate that. So we, in addition to talking about this off the record new kind of sub series of our Hymnpartial channel, we also realized over our break that we that we have never officially established seasons because we're very professional. So this summer we were thinking, oh, this is, let's take a break and then come back for season 2. And I was like, season 2? No, it's season 3. And we kind of had a little debate back and forth. So unofficially, we've had 2 seasons.
Yeah, we decided like it would be weird to have season 1 be 2 years long and then season 2 be like a year or something.
Yeah, like 8 months, 10 months.
Well, it just says it's been 2 years, so that's 2 seasons.
Yeah, we'll have 2 seasons. And so starting next week will be the beginning of our season 3. And honestly, we are really excited. We already have slated some very cool guests to come onto the show. And
we've got some exciting people that we're trying to get for Christmas as well.
I know it sounds crazy to be talking about Christmas already, but we did spend some of our break just planning. We do like to plan. And yeah, we planned the next few months, just kind of some guests we want to have on, and some of them have already agreed.
Because you have to remember as well, like, because we talk about hymns and music, some of our guests are musicians.
Yep.
And so during December, they may well be on tours and things. So we have to think quite far ahead in terms of what we want to do and who we want to get on so that we can get them in plenty of time so that they're not busy when we want them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we started recording Christmas episodes last year in October.
Yep.
So it'd be similar, September, October. And it's really silly when you think about it because, like, we've talked about this before. The big Christian calendar holiday is Easter.
Well, it should be, yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
But we're totally, like, I especially totally love Christmas. I love everything about it. All the cheesy stuff, the Santa movies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I love it.
Christmas as well.
I don't care that it's not necessarily, but I love it even more now as a Christian because I love Jesus, and obviously, he's the reason for the season.
It's his birthday.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we did lots of planning in that regard. So part of the break was to do some planning, to revamp some stuff. You might have noticed our website's changed a little bit. We're going to try to get some more content up there for you over the next few weeks.
Yep. Also just to rest because we're really tired.
Yes, we needed a good rest. We had like a really busy few months. And we didn't initially plan to take most of July off, but July ended up being ideal because we had a lot of travel between the two of us. We had a lot of guests here. Cara was back and forth to the States a few times, and she went off and got herself engaged. So that was obviously something to stop and celebrate.
Yeah.
And yeah, we, like you said, we needed some rest, much needed rest, which is something that, is part of our worship. We need to rest like the Lord tells us to.
Yeah, we need to plan a wedding.
Yeah, we need to plan a wedding, exactly. Which is very exciting. And I may or may not be obsessively planning it.
A little bit more obsessively than me.
Yeah, I'm like, who's the more excited of the two of us? The person getting married or the
I've just been super busy, so I am starting to get really excited about it. But yeah.
We were talking last night when we were thinking about this off the record episode. We were thinking about like wedding hymns. And I think that would be like a really good episode to talk about. Let us know if you would want us to talk about hymns to be sung.
If you do want us to talk about it, can you also tell us what you had at your wedding?
Yeah.
If you're married, that would be
really
cool. Or
what you would want at your marriage.
Yes.
At your
that
wedding.
would be really interesting to hear your responses to that.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good episode just because I'm often surprised when I say, oh yeah, this was at our wedding, and people go, oh yeah, or I say, this is my favorite hymn, and somebody goes, yeah, we sang that at our wedding. And I'm like, really? I'm always surprised, like, what people have to say and what their emphasis is, because for Daniel and I won't spoil it in case we do an episode on this, which I think we will. I think we're leaning towards that. But we wanted Christ to be the center of our wedding ceremony. And so the hymn, or the gospel tune really that was sung during that ceremony, was literally that. And I mean, it's explicit in the lyrics. And so somebody might be like, that was at your wedding? Because they maybe want like something that's more like, I love you, or something like that.
I have so many thoughts on this, but we will talk about it during an episode if
no spoilers.
You guys want.
No spoilers.
Actually, we probably will talk about it in an episode whether you want it or not, because we're excited.
It's really true. It's really true. So it's been a good break. What else happened over our break? I'm trying to think. Brain's going foggy.
Yeah, stuff, things,
stuff and things.
Happenings happened. That's how it
the
goes.
Cold medicine kicking in.
Yeah. My guinea pigs are fine, if anyone's wondering.
Yeah, so it'll be a really exciting few months. We think it'll be very exciting few months.
Yeah.
We've obviously got a lot of new things. So we've got Ko-fi partnership. We've got wedding to plan. We've got several guests coming on to talk about a few things. We have a few episodes that are already planned and ready to be recorded. That are suggestions from you guys. So when we say let us know, like, we really mean it. We really do want to hear from you to hear what it is that you're wanting to know about. We have at least one, if not two episodes planned to speak about lament and how we deal with that in the church. And
it has been a mixed summer for us. We're talking about a lot of the good things. There were some harder things going on as well. Yeah. Which is fine. I think it serves to bring you closer to God. But it means that things like lament have been on our mind. And we've talked about it a bit with different guests over the last year. So, yeah.
And we have a very, very cool guest who we're going to talk about it with.
I'm so excited.
In a few weeks' time. Yes. So, like I said, just so much to look forward to. Over the next season. And I think before we wrap up this kind of section on the summer, I think I've been able to reflect a lot on why we do this podcast, who we do this podcast for over the break. And selfishly, first and foremost, we do it for ourselves. I've grown tremendously over the last 2 and a bit years in what I've learned, how I think through what it means to participate in corporate worship, in song, and just how I think about the saints of old. I think just doing research for some of our episodes coming up, I just realized, like, we have like this we wear goggles, like, where everybody in the past was like, they're pretty great and they were all, but like, no, the Lord used so many flawed, like characteristically flawed men and women to bless his people at that time and even now. And so it's just been a really good time to think about how we've benefited from it. But honestly, your guys' feedback, saying, wow, this episode really encouraged me because I'm going through X, or I never thought about that. Like, I'm going to share this episode with my sister or my cousin or my daughter or whatever. That stuff has just been, I genuinely didn't expect that, because you just think sometimes when you start a podcast that you're just talking out into the ether, like you're
turns out there's real people out there.
Yeah. And honestly, like, we see the numbers, we see how many of you guys are listening and going back, like new listeners going back and listening to old
even
stuff.
A number can feel very impersonal. Yeah. And so when you guys message us and are like, oh, I absolutely loved that, or I'd never heard that hymn before, but it really encouraged me, like, that makes more difference than seeing a bunch of numbers.
Yeah. So thank you is what I'm trying to say. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you for tuning into our podcast.
Also, like those of you who keep saying, "Can I get a Hymnpartial shirt?" We'll get there. We're working on it.
We will get there. We will get there. But thanks for noticing.
That should be a reward for one of the tiers.
Oh yeah,
one of the Ko-fi tiers.
Ooh, very good idea. Maybe the top tier. The Wesley.
We'll think about it.
Watts
is top tier because he's like...
Because he's top
tier.
Notch.
We should have top ladies, the toppest tier.
Yeah, the toppiest of the tiers. Yeah. Watch any good shows over the break?
I watched a really random Brazilian show. Which I'm obsessed with.
We're so careful. Like, so here's the thing. I don't know if this has happened to you, but like, I never used to be this way. But now you tell somebody, you go, oh yeah, I've been watching that show, whatever, Paw Patrol. And people go, ooh, and they start to judge. Or they say, oh, Monet's been watching Paw Patrol, so that means I can watch Paw Patrol. And they're like, oh,
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what the show is because it's magic realism and there's some like low-key environmentalist undertones to it. It's not, it's very subtle. It actually works really well.
Yeah.
There is no inappropriateness and the violence is minimal. There's a little bit of inappropriate, well, it's all inappropriate, but like non-sexual nudity in it. But it's very brief. But I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want you coming back and being like, oh my goodness, witchcraft. Because it is magic realism. So it's like this detective and his wife is killed in a fire in the forest. And he thinks it's a plot, like a conspiracy by this company that want to demolish the forest. And then it turns out that there are mythical beings that live among humans.
Spoiler alert.
It's not a spoiler, that's just the premise. And so it turns out that it is a little bit more complicated than that.
Yeah.
But the suspense, oh my goodness, it's not particularly violent, not a lot actually happens, but the whole time you're watching it like, I have to know. Like, I have to know what's going on. Like, who's the really good guy, who's the bad guy, what's happening.
Yeah.
So yes, I have watched a good show over the summer.
Daniel and I are currently making our way through... What?
It has fake John Krasinski in it as well. I forgot to tell you. You know Jim off The Office? Yeah. The main guy in it looks so like him, but he's not. He's some random Brazilian guy that just looks a bit like him.
I was going to say fake John Krasinski is... the guy from Shazam.
Yeah. No, there's a Brazilian fake John Krasinski as well.
Zachary Levi, that's his name. Zachary Levi.
Oh, yeah.
Who I know. I said Chuck. Shazam from Chuck.
Yeah, he is Chuck from Chuck.
So now you know two shows that we have watched by name. Woo! Now, Daniel and I have been watching a sci-fi show that takes place in LA. It's one of these like the aliens have come kind of shows.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because the trailer for it is absolutely 100% not how the show actually, like, the pace of the show. And I have a beef with that. Like, I understand the trailer is supposed to draw you in. And so, if you watch a movie and then you go back and watch a trailer, you're like, that was so deceptive. But at least it gives you the pace of it. It gives you the tone.
The only M. Night Shyamalan movie I've ever seen was Lady in the Water. Because we saw the advert and we were like, oh... That looks really good. And then me and my parents watched it and we were like, why? Like, what was that? That was garbage.
Yeah, but see, we talked about this. M. Night Shyamalan, he had like a golden age and it was like a few movies. And then after that, like it was
just like...
Everyone hated M. Night Shyamalan after that.
Well,
and I don't know.
I haven't seen any of his other movies, so I'm not really inclined to now.
I mean, I think people liked him because he gave you a good twist. He gave you good twists, but then it's like, so we talked about this the other day. This is completely off topic, but we don't have a topic.
We're off the record, so we're fine.
We were talking about movies with good plot twists, and everyone loves a plot twist. That's the thing. They love it. They're like, wow, you tricked me. You tricked me so good. And there are certain movies that when you watch it and the plot twist happens, like you want to immediately rewatch it to see if you could see the little nuggets of truth. But some you get the great plot twist, and then like to watch it over again completely kills it. And I feel like that was M. Night Shyamalan. Like there's like, I think
he's a once watch movie.
Yeah, you watch it once and then you're like, okay, that was a nice ride. But then like you watch it again and you're like, this is super boring. I hate it.
Yeah.
But there are other plot twist movies that I've seen over and over again, and I'm like, yeah, because it's still a fun ride, even though they tricked you.
I always, whenever I'm talking to people about plot twists, I'm like, Book of Eli. I'm not recommending it online because it's violent in parts. Violent. But you watch it a second time and you're like, how did I not see this? Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's play some games. What do you think?
Yes. If that's everything update wise that we need to do.
I think so. Kofi, summer break, new season, off the record.
I'm engaged.
Cara's engaged. Soon to be.
It's not an accessory. It's
soon to be the partner of an American.
Yes. Well, no one's perfect.
I was going to say she's gone to the dark side. Now this flag is, when she gets married, this flag is going to mean more. Okay, so we love this or that games. We're so boring, but we love it. It's just fun. I love the discussion that comes from this or that.
I think as well, like, even if I'm on Instagram and someone has the most boring this or that on their stories, I'm still like, click, click.
It's our addiction. We have a problem. So we're going to do this or that hymn edition. We could only choose one. And bonus, we've actually done episodes on all of these songs, I think. So
yes,
you could judge for yourself based
also
on our
put
episodes.
Your answers in the comments because I'm curious.
Yes.
I went through all our episodes and I was like, let's match up similar themes or whatever.
Yeah. So if you've never heard of the songs we're talking about, we actually have episodes on this.
They're all great songs.
Shameless plug.
Which was mean of me to put them in.
Ooh, these are actually really bad. I'm just now looking at the matchups. Okay, so we have to choose one. You could elaborate or you could not elaborate. That's completely your own choice. His mercy is more or in Christ alone.
See, I was writing this down and I was like, danger.
This is like Getty Music versus Getty Music.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
No, is it?
Well, Boswell and Papa, they work for... Oh. Or they're part of Getty Music. So
I was going for just modern-ish songs. So His Mercy is more catchy, but I have more recently cried to In Christ Alone.
In Christ Alone just has a special place in my heart. Like, it's hard to choose many hymns over that. I feel like In Christ Alone has a longer history. Mm-hmm. And so there's like a deeper emotional attachment. But I'm pretty sure if you look at how you feel about In Christ Alone at 10 years and how you feel it His Mercy is more in 10 years, you're going to be like, Yeah, it might be hard because I love the lyrics of both. I think they both just speak to truths that are so deeply rooted in the Christian faith. Yes. And so they're really lovely.
They're quite similar themes as well.
Yeah.
The kind of redemption themes.
Yeah, His Mercy is more, I think. Yes, obvious. I think His Mercy is more is more of a comfort. It's a song like that comforts us that we are vile sinners and yet the Lord is still ever more gracious.
Mind you, no guilt in life, no fear in death. This is the power of Christ in me.
Yes, but In Christ Alone, I think is more about, and it's about atonement. It's like,
that's true.
This is how we actually can stand. It's more about like they're both, it's an impossible thing. It's not impossible.
I'm so sorry.
I am choosing In Christ Alone, but I will say like I think they're different in nature and what they're actually about. So
yeah. You see how I got out of that one?
Yeah. Number 2, you want to read that one?
Number 2 is How Great Thou Art versus Great Is Thy Faithfulness.
You first.
Great is Thy Faithfulness. Because I've sung that. Well, I've sung both of them in difficult times. But I think the lyrics just have that little bit more weight to them. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yeah. I have more of an emotional attachment, like a nostalgic attachment to How Great Thou Art. But I think I would agree. Great is Thy Faithfulness is the
we've sung Great is Thy Faithfulness at multiple funerals, so I think part of that is like an emotional thing as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's just also a really true song. And it also talks about mercies, morning by morning.
Oh, I should have pitched those two against each other.
Goodness. Retrospect.
But then there's something great about, I saw that meme, you know, with the seagull where it like tips its head back and then it like blasts. And it's like, you know, the one where its eyes go red?
Yes.
Yes. And it's like, then sing, no. What is it? It's something to do with how great thou art. Mm-hmm. And it's like, how great thou art.
Yeah.
It's like, then sings my soul. And it's like, the soul is a bit where it's like, then sings my soul.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. There are bits of these hymns where you're just like, it's time to go to the top of my lungs to get this out. Okay. It is well with my soul, or be still my soul.
Be still my soul every time. It's that. That's one I've just carried with me for a long time.
Isn't that the one that started this off? Be still my soul.
Yes.
Yes.
So it has multiple levels of attachment for me. Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with It Is Well With My Soul. The history of that hymn, I know.
The history is good.
The history.
I was thinking, have you heard the Cutlass version?
No.
They're like a Christian rock-ish band, but they did like a metal semi-screamo version. It's Well With My Soul.
Goodness gracious. I like It As Well With My Soul a lot. And I also feel like we're just being girls and we're just like, this song makes me cry. It Is Well With My Soul just always gets me, I think.
I think that's okay though. Like,
yeah, we're girls.
Because these are all hymns with really good words, so there's no wrong answer except if you disagree with me. But on the whole, like, it doesn't matter which of these you choose, they're all good. Yeah. And so sometimes it does just come down to like, what's the catchy one, or like what's one that we have the most emotional attachment to.
Yeah. Yeah, because the hymns are not just lyrics. They're also the tunes as well. And so sometimes the tunes, for better or for worse, cloud our thinking on it. So speaking of which, number 4.
Oh, Rock of Ages or On Christ the Solid Rock I Stand?
I'm going to go with On Christ the Solid Rock I Stand, because, that's why I said speaking of which, Rock of Ages is such a like amazingly, like, it's a great hymn, right? But the tune is just like meh to me. I'm so meh on the tune, as opposed to On Christ the Solid Rock I Stand. First of all, I know several tunes to this.
Can we make a request, Indelible Grace? Can you like redo On Christ the Solid? No, not Christ the Solid Rock. Rock of Ages. Can you do Rock of Ages first, please?
It's like,
well, you can't sing it too slow, otherwise it's like,
It just feels like it could have more oomph, you know? Whereas like on Christ the Solid Rock I Stand, the tune that I think most people sing it to is On Christ the Solid Rock I Stand.
There's always that question of whether you like have a breath in between one of the lines. So it's like, Christ the Solid Rock I Stand. No, some people don't put like a breath between there. They're like, all other ground is sinking sand, all other ground is sinking sand. And you're like...
Yeah, we always do the breath. But that version is nice and it's really great to sing. But I love that Shane and Shane version. Remember when we did the episode, I was telling you there's a version where it's like, On Christ, the solid rock I stand. Yeah, it's so good. Thanks, Shane and Shane, because that gets me hyped.
I'm going to disagree with you and say Rock of Ages purely for the lyrics.
Whoa.
But Indelible Grace, I'm telling you, that's my request. I'm nobody. You're just like, who is this person? But I am like 98% of your views on YouTube.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, that might be true. No, it's not. It's really not. Okay, last one. Turn your eyes upon Jesus versus Jesus paid it all.
I don't know how to answer this because
you wrote it.
I know. I like wrote it and I was like, hey, Monet's never going to be able to do this. And I was like, oh no, neither can I. I really love Jesus paid it all for the words. Mm-hmm. But I also really love Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus. had a bit of a meltdown in church the other week because we started singing this. And
Is
it was
this a Fanny Crosby hymn? Turn
can't
your eyes upon
remember.
Jesus.
It's like the first line is like, "Oh, soul, are you weary and tired?" And I was like, "Yes." And then they're like, "No light in the darkness you see," and I was like, "Yes."
Yes.
And then I just lost it. But it's a great hymn. It's really encouraging. But then Jesus Paid It All is like a beautiful tune and great lyrics.
Turn your eyes upon Jesus is, oh no, it's Helen Lemmel.
You should know this because we did an episode on it.
You know what though, guys, we've done 90, this is like, well, this is officially not an episode, but we've done 90 episodes so far.
Yes.
And like to remember all the
Sometimes
details.
people go, "Do you remember you said this in an episode?" And I'm like, "Did we do an episode on that hymn?"
Sometimes, honestly, like you said, we did episodes on all these hymns, and I was like, we did 8
This can be like
episodes?
3 weeks later. You're like, "That episode you did on whatever," and we're like,
yeah.
"I don't remember that."
So yeah, Helen Lemmel. I don't know why I thought that was Fanny Crosby. It feels like a Fanny Crosby song. Something about
it's good and it's got a chorus. You're like,
Yeah.
Fanny Crosby.
So did I answer? I think I would do turn your eyes upon Jesus.
Right this second, because of all the emotions, it would be
Yeah.
Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus,
Yeah.
but that could fluctuate over time.
Well, it's my husband always quotes Robert Murray McCheyne.
Yeah.
Where he says, for every look at self, take 10 looks at Christ, poorly paraphrased. And I think that's such a good, like, I just want to get that tattooed on the inside of my eyelids because of the looking. But I do feel like it's so important. I think whenever we're down, whenever we're low, whenever we're feeling depressed, whenever we're feeling stressed, anxious, whatever,
Yeah.
it's because we are looking too much at ourselves. It doesn't mean that those things in life aren't
Or
stressful
even
or
just
horrible.
like our circumstances.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, oh, it's purely vanity and that's why you're sad. No. I just think that the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace.
Yeah.
And that's why that song is so
It's
powerful.
been very precious the last few months.
So, yeah, hard combinations,
I
Cara.
know. I'm not sorry at all.
Sorry, not sorry.
But these are all great hymns. And
Yes.
regardless, like, tell us your preferences as
Yeah.
well. Like, which ones would you choose?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all really good. And if there's any you don't know, we do have adverts.
Episodes.
Episodes is the word I'm looking for. I'm
Episodes
just
for all
out
of
of my
them.
tree today. But yes,
You could
we have
thank
episodes
Limsit
on
for
all
that.
of them. Yeah, this episode is definitely sponsored by Limsit.
Limsit. Well, guys, that's it for Off the Record. We really enjoyed this. Obviously, it's a different format, more casual, more just not necessarily hymn focused, though we obviously did talk a lot about Hymnpartial. Let us know. Like I said, we have some ideas of things we want to talk about for Off the Record. This is not necessarily like a weekly thing, but a periodical thing. That's not the word I'm looking for.
Like, occasional thing.
Occasional
Every
thing
couple
that
of
we'll
months,
do.
If we're like, oh, hey, this is
Yeah.
important, or this is something we've been thinking about a lot and we want to talk about it,
Yeah.
but it's not hymn related.
Yeah.
Then from time to time, we would like to do an Off the Record
Off
episode.
the record. And yeah, hopefully next time we see you, it'll be for our 91st episode of Hymnpartial, and we're really looking forward to it. So until next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you. Bye.
Bye.